Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
Hello, I'm Nick Nelson.
And I'm Cassidy Cornell. We'll get to those stories and more, but first.
President Donald Trump has removed Chief Strategist Steve Bannon from the National Security Council, reversing an earlier decision giving Bannon access to the high-level meetings. Bannon will still maintain his security clearance and will attend meetings where his input is needed. The National Weather Service issued a tornado emergency for Webster and Sumter counties in southwest Georgia, a rare incident only used when confirmed tornadoes are likely to cause catastrophic damage. The emergency warning comes from a system of storms barreling through the southeastern United States and is expecting to leave 60 million people at risk of tornadoes, damaging winds, and thunderstorms. And those are your headlines. And now let's take a look at weather with Lauren Solek. Lauren?
There is still a chill in the air and a continued chance of showers early tonight, but the rest of the week is shaping up to be great for getting outside. Currently, it's 55 degrees. Tonight, the temps will drop down to 31 degrees, with a chance of rain before 8. The skies will begin to clear overnight. Tomorrow, we'll get plenty of sunshine with a high near 56. The wind will begin to increase early Friday and bring the warmest temps we've seen this spring. Friday will be mostly sunny with a high of 66. The nightly low will be around 47. For your weekend, we may hit the 80-degree mark on Saturday, so it'll be a good day to see the track team take on SDSU at the Lily Bridge Track Complex. The warmer temps will continue through the weekend with a high of 73 and mostly clear skies on Sunday. Early next week will bring temps in the high 50s, but more rain could be in the mix. And that's your Coyote weather.
USD fraternity Tau Kappa Epsilon has canceled their annual fight night due to venue complications. This is the first time in about 10 years that the event will not take place. Replacing the event will be St. Jude's Jam, an outdoor event consisting of a barbecue, inflatable jousting, and silent auctions. All proceeds will go to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. The St. Jude's Jam will occur on April 18th.
A Mitchell man who was involved in one of the largest drug busts in the city's history has been sentenced. 27-year-old Jordan Mutterfering was sentenced to 15 years behind bars on drug distribution and possession charges yesterday. Mutterfering was caught selling ecstasy to an informant in July, resulting in a search of his home where police found multiple drugs and drug paraphernalia. A Sioux Falls woman has been arrested and charged with a DUI and a hit and run after crashing her car into a utility pole and then fleeing the scene. 24-year-old Samantha K. Wesselink crashed her car into the pole near 22nd Street and Kiwanis Avenue early this morning, causing residents in the area to lose power. Wesselink fled the scene uninjured, but police found her shortly after. Wesselink has also been cited for no insurance, driving without a valid license, and an expired license plates. Coming up, we find out about a USD sports club that has some may not have heard about. Find out more after the break.
I wanted to be a student ambassador because I wanted to be able to give prospective students my view of the campus and so that they can enjoy the university as much as I do.
It's bringing the next generation to USD.
It was a real personal experience more than just, hey, here's a big university.
You're coming into a family and we want you to feel welcome, we want you to feel loved, and we want you to feel confident in your decision to become a Coyote.
It's fulfilling,
Energetic,
impactful,
community, challenging,
knowledgeable,
fun,
professional,
the future.
I just love USD.
Your fire attack, your fire attack.
1926.
This is Coyote News.
Welcome back. USD has well over 100 clubs and organizations for students to join. Coyote News' Taylor Kenny spent an afternoon with a few members of a club that's been on campus for several decades.
The women's rugby club team has been active on campus for a long time.
yet it seems to hardly get any recognition. Practicing in empty grass lots behind a daycare, the team might not have the newest or nicest facility, but they always make it work. The team hosts a few home games each season, but mainly squares off on opponent territory.
We do have some games here, but most of our bigger tournaments. We have a big tournament in Wayne coming up. We had a tournament a couple weeks ago in Sioux Falls, so we don't really have any tournaments here, but we do play games here.
Rugby definitely isn't a laid-back sport. It's full contact with minimal protection, meaning no pads like we traditionally see.
It's similar to football, soccer combined, kind of, for easiest way to explain it. We don't wear any pads.
Unlike most sports teams, USD's rugby club doesn't have a coach. The ladies are instructed by a team captain that goes through a special certification process. The team's next action is the Sioux Falls Sevens tournament on April 12th. For Coyote News, I'm Taylor Kenny.
Pikes in the Park, a charity fundraiser, was forced indoors because of soggy ground and wind. The event was the conclusion of the Pike Week of Service. Pi Kappa Alpha sold walking tacos to benefit charity.
What we are striving to do with this is to raise some money that we donate to our primary charity, Cure Kids Cancer, which is a group based out of the Castle of Karen from Sanford and Sioux Falls. And essentially we're hoping to raise some money for that and then also get back to the community with the walking tacos a little bit.
Indoor volleyball and other games were played between plates of taco meat and Doritos. This year's event served approximately 150 people.
There are an estimated 195,000 Holocaust survivors still alive today. One of them stopped by USD and shared her journey with Coyote News' Nathan Finster in this week's Yote Report.
There are some events that are considered a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
My arm is around to protect you. Don't die. Come close.
Listening to and being able to ask questions to a survivor of the Holocaust falls under that category. That's what students and community members alike experienced last Monday when Holocaust survivor Inga Auerbacher spoke in Farber Hall.
I am a child survivor of the Holocaust. I am Jewish, and that's why it happened to me.
Auerbacher was born in Kippenheim, a small village in Germany, where she was the last Jewish child born in that village. She lived a relatively normal life until November 10, 1938, which is known as Crystal Night, or the Night of Broken Glass.
On November 10th, a riot came to Kippenheim. My grandfather, he went to the synagogue in the morning, November 10th, and was arrested and sent to the Dachau concentration camp.
Soon after this, large concentrations of Jewish people were sent to concentration camps, including Auerbacher's family, who were sent to the Terezin concentration camp, located in what is now called today the Czech Republic.
We were all supposed to die. We were 140,000 people. We were 15,000 children. Very, very few made it. Very, very few, maybe 1%. So, and I'm one of those lucky people.
After liberation on May 8, 1945, Auerbacher and her family moved to New York, where she still lives to this day. After arriving, she pursued a degree and later worked for 38 years as a chemist doing medical research. She now speaks to audiences around the country. Her reasoning behind speaking is to warn people of not being onlookers.
When you see terrible things happen, you're equally guilty as the person who's doing the actual bad deed.
Her one hope for the future?
My hope, my wish and prayer is for every child to grow up in peace, without hunger and prejudice.
For the Yote Report, I'm Nathan Finster.
The Holocaust survivor is the author of 4 books. Her latest memoir is I Am a Star, Child of the Holocaust.
High school and college students had the opportunity to show off their entrepreneurial skills and earn prizes at this year's Invent to Innovate business model competition. Students from USD, Black Hill State, Vermilion High School, and Sioux City competed this year. Business School Dean Venki Venkatashalam says the goal is to teach students how to commercialize a creative idea and take it to the marketplace. The many event sponsors made cash prizes possible, including First Premier Bank, Vermilion Area Chamber and Development, and Poet. The top college team was awarded $2,000 and the top high school team was given $1,000. In the future, the dean says he would like to see more contestants from nearby states. Still to come, find out how a group of friends turn their love for a classic board game into friendly competition when we come back.
Fostering is when you take in an animal into your home and you take care of them until we can find them a permanent forever home.
If you can find it in your heart to do it, it's rewarding.
We do all the vetting, the neutering, the spaying, the medications.
The Humane Society has lots and lots of great dogs and cats that can pull at your heartstrings and make you realize you got a little more to give.
This is Coyote News.
Welcome back. Stress relief comes in many forms, and for some, it's as simple as a board game with friends. Coyote News' Leah Cover found an outlet just for that.
It all started in January with a group of friends who've known each other since freshman year and love Monopoly. They decided to play at their favorite haunt, the Varsity Pub, and realized it was too fun not to turn into a competition.
We definitely chose Monopoly because it can teach you a lesson of life, and that not everything you ever want in life you're just going to get. You have to be willing to negotiate, make the right trades.
The Monopoly League is a group of 10 players who meet weekly to test their negotiating skills. They pair up into 5 teams to play, and each player is given a certain number of points based on where their team finishes. At the end of the semester, the top 5 compete in the playoffs for a free bar tab, and the bottom 5 play for something more memorable.
The losers will be playing to see who ends up getting a tattoo on their rear end.
Kyler Howard, who's been at the bottom for the last month, has accepted his fate.
I've been referred to as the Black Plague of the league. Every team I've ever been on has lost.
And he's already picked out his tattoo.
It's going to be the words dead last.
Throughout the semester, the league's focus has been on friendship, and not just on game day.
We have our own Snapchat group chat, and then we also have our own Messenger group chats. We always are texting or snapping each other through that, so we've all become pretty close in that aspect through this league.
Though many members of the group are graduating this spring, the league plans to continue and wants to seek greater opportunities.
We have looked in to see what possible national competitions would kind of cost, but as of right now, I believe they have a minimum of getting your league up to 16 members. But with time, it's going to grow.
For Coyote News, I'm Leah Cover.
For those who dare to risk getting a permanent reminder of their poor Monopoly record, the league meets Thursdays at 6 in the Varsity Pub basement. In this week's blog, Coyote Crystal plays this or that with students.
Are you cats or dogs?
Cats.
Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Hockey or ice skating?
Hockey.
Apples or oranges? Summer or winter? This week on Coyote Crystal, I gave students 2 different options and they had to tell me which one was their favorite. Nike or Adidas? Nike. Blue or red?
Blue.
USD or SDSU?
USD.
Good job. Are you coffee or tea?
Tea.
Sears or Kmart?
Kmart.
Waffles or pancakes? Waffles. Beauty and the Beast or Sleeping Beauty? Beauty and the Beast. Hunting or fishing?
Hunting.
Hockey or figure skating?
Figure skating.
Ooh, Target or Walmart?
Definitely Target.
Figure skating or hockey?
Figure skating.
Hunting or fishing?
Hunting.
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Beauty and the Beast or Sleeping Beauty?
Beauty and the Beast.
Hockey or ice skating?
Hockey.
Target or Walmart?
Target.
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
USD, SDSU?
USD.
Well, Levi, I hear the softball team beat SDSU this weekend.
They most absolutely did. And we also have a great story on football, the football team's spring practices. Those are coming up next in sports.
awesome because it's challenging, both mentally and physically.
You gotta love climbing because even when you're not climbing, you get a great view.
Climbing's great because I feel like Spider-Man.
Climbing is great, because even my nerd friends can do it.
Climbing's awesome because there's always someone who has your back.
Come to the rock wall and figure out why climbing's awesome for you.
The Coyote Twin Theaters in downtown Vermilion, providing entertainment Tuesdays through Sundays. A proud supporter of USD student media.
This is Coyote News.
Hello, I'm Levi Goots. Tonight on Coyote Sports, we take a look at the softball team's home opener. And in this week's sports report, we take a look at the football team's spring practices. But first, the headlines with Lauren Solek. Lauren?
The National Hockey League has announced that it won't allow its players to compete in the 2018 Winter Olympics. The announcement comes after months of debate over the issue of participation. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman says there's a variety of factors that play into the decision, especially the disruption caused by shutting down the season for 2 weeks. Dustin Johnson's Masters availability is in doubt after the world #1 golfer fell down the stairs in his rental home in Augusta, Georgia this afternoon. Johnson is scheduled to tee off just after 1 p.m. tomorrow. USD football will face 7-time national champion Oklahoma on September 7, 2019. This will be the first meeting between the two teams, as USD is scheduled to take on a Big 12 program for the next 4 years. The Coyotes will play at Oklahoma in Week 2 of their 2019 schedule. USD senior Emily Grove was named the Summit League Outdoor Track and Field Athlete of the Week. Grove tied her own school record and was also the top collegiate finisher in the women's pole vault at the meet. And those are your headlines.
The women's softball team captured their weekend series against SDSU. The Yotes split with the Jacks on Saturday in games 1 and 2, but followed up with an 8-0 win in game 3 on Sunday. We take it to the bottom of the second inning where sophomore Jamie Holster had an RBI single down the middle. Teammate Emily Winkler followed up with a double to center, and junior Christy Warnock hit a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 6th to make it an 8-0. Warnock had 3 hits and 4 RBIs on the day. Warnock says playing at home made the difference.
Playing state is the best one, so the fact that that was our home opener, it made it all that much better. We had all the fans here, everything. It was so fun to open against them, and especially to come out and take 2 from them.
2-hit shutout on Sunday and was named the Summit League Softball Player of the Week. Green recorded her first collegiate shutout of her career. The win also gives USD the point for the South Dakota Showdown Series. The Coyotes are now 3-3 in Summit League play. The Yotes are back in action this weekend at home against Omaha. The track and field team split between 2 meets in Texas last weekend. USD was well represented at the Texas State Bobcat Invitational. Senior Nicole Schmidt, junior Sinise Kennigan, and freshman Ethan Bray captured their respective event titles. Schmidt won the mile, Kennigan ran to first in the 400-meter hurdles, and Bray took first in the pole vault. The Coyotes also competed at the Clyde Littlefield Texas Relays. Junior Jacob Behrens captured the Section B shot put title. Freshman Chris Nielsen was third in the men's pole vault, and senior Danielle Waldner placed third in the women's shot put. The Yotes compete in their home opener on Saturday against SDSU starting at 11. Spring is officially here, and with it comes an important opportunity for the USD football team. Coyote News' Michaela Feldman took a look inside this year's spring practice.
We're still 5 months away from the first football game, but the sounds we all know are in the air. Spring practice is underway for the USD football team. Stetson Daigle is a senior on the team. He says practices prepare them for the fall season.
If we didn't have these spring practices, then there would be a pretty long break from season to season. So it keeps us sharp mentally and helps us get some good work in.
USD made strides last season, but head coach Bob Nielsen says there's always room for improvement.
We played well at times, not consistently enough to win enough games. So the big thing is to be more consistent and execute at a higher level throughout the whole 60 minutes.
Adam Harris is a senior defensive back for USD. He says one of the biggest benefits of spring practice is improving those finer details.
For me, understanding defenses and knowing different splits from receivers and stuff like that, you get to work on your footwork, and it's repetitive.
And coaches and players have one goal in mind.
Well, we want to be a football team that competes for a championship. And to do that in the Missouri Valley, it means you got to play at a really high level every week. And spring practice is a start to building in that direction.
For the Sports Report, I'm Michaela Feldman.
The USD spring game is April 21st. The women's golf team competed at the Bradley Invitational over the weekend. The Coyotes placed 4th out of 11 teams. Senior Brenna Lervik finished with a tie for 2nd, while teammate Abby Dufresne tied for 11th. Lervik had 7 birdies and finished at even par. Lervik was also named the Summit League Women's Golfer of the Week. Dufresne shot 11 over par and was one of 3 golfers at the tournament to record an eagle. The Yotes end their regular season this weekend at the UMKC Shootout. Coyote News' Andy Hartman is live in the muck with Brenna Lervik to discuss the season so far. Andy?
Thanks, Levi. Thanks for joining us, Brenna. Yeah, thanks for having me. All right, this is your 4th time overall winning Summit League Player of the Week. Is there anything that made this time different than the other 3?
Not really. You know, it's just kind of, I hope to go out there and play as well as I can and play for my teammates as well. And so it's awesome to get that recognition from the Summit League.
All right. And at the meet this past weekend, you've tied 2nd with over 63 people participating. Was that just a huge moment for you, or?
You know, it wasn't really just because I was playing with the girl who got 1st and the girl who also tied with me. So for us, it was really fun and competitive because we were all playing very well, and that kind of helped push me to stay at the top and compete as well as I did at this tournament.
All right, thanks, Brenna.
Yeah, thank you.
The women's golf team travels to Kansas City this weekend. Live from the muck, I'm Andy Hartman.
Thanks, Andy. The Coyote men's golf team finished 7th at the Arkansas State Intercollegiate. Sophomore Tommy Vining tied for 6th, and freshman Matt Tolan placed 10th. This was Vining's best finish on the year. Tolan shot a 69 on the 3rd round, which was the lowest score of the round, and 2nd best round of the tournament. The Yotes close out the regular season next week at the Missouri Tiger Invitational. Senior men's basketball player Tyler Flack represented USD at the 2017 College Slam Dunk Championships. Flack placed 3rd out of 8 competitors. Flack advanced to the semifinals on the competition with a 540-degree reverse slam dunk. The dunk earned Flack a perfect score from all 4 judges, and it was the 2nd highest score of the round. In round 2, Flack had help from Dylan Fischbach, who is son of USD's director for sports medicine, Bruce Fischbach. Flack missed both attempts at the dunk, but threw in a quick windmill dunk to finish up the round. Flack's 3rd dunk gave him a total round 2 score of 90. Flack only missed advancing to the finals by less than a point. The College Slam Dunk Championship was Flack's last time competing in a Coyote uniform. That's a look at sports. Coming up after the break, we ask students their favorite part about USD. Their answers are next.
Hey, Madeline,
Why don't you explain what improv is?
Well, improv is just kind of thinking on your feet and creating a scene out of nothing. Our first goal is we accept anyone and everyone.
Our second goal is that we focus on improvement.
And also our third goal is we just want to bring comedy back to campus.
We like making people laugh. And that's one of the reasons why we think you should come to Improv Club, for laughs.
On the corner of 25 West Main Street in downtown Vermilion, the Spot Winnie Mays is proud to support programming on Coyote News. The Spot Winnie Mays, providing salon and spa services for men, women, and children.
This is Coyote News.
In this week's Out and About, we asked students what they like most about USD. Here's what they said.
It's obviously the drinking.
Probably the muck omelets. They're like a great way to start your day. Turned into a family in the last year and a half, and that's got to be the best part for sure.
Knowing a wide variety of people.
Probably the people. I love spending the weekends with everyone, and being in class is great because everyone's nice and generous.
Oh, I love the campus. It's a lot of really beautiful buildings and just a really nice area.
How easy it is to get in. That's why I'm here.
I'd probably say the culture. Everyone's pretty welcoming and inviting, pretty nice.
Thursdays, and probably the lack of culture.
All the friends I've made and having fun on the weekends and hanging out in the muck all day.
Probably the parties, I have to say.
Probably the community and how you can walk around and always know somebody.
I haven't really met anybody that's been unkind or rude at all.
Being able to just spend time in the muck and see all the different people.
Writing tickets.
Be sure to pick up a copy of The Volant, out today, featuring a story on USD alumna researching child abuse.
That's all for Coyote News. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
And listen for KYOT and KAOR daily updates throughout the week.
Thank you, and have a great night.